Rangers bombshells are dropping fast, and you won't believe who's just been ripped apart in the media after one of the worst seasons ever seen at Ibrox, while Russell Martin sharpens the axe for more. Meanwhile, a Champions League clash looms, major changes are coming, and the striker crisis could explode at any moment. Butland's future is hanging by a thread, Jamie Vardy's name is on everyone's lips, and the rebuild is reaching boiling point. Strap in, this is no ordinary week at Ibrox, and by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why everything might be about to change. Right, you're going to like this one. It looks like Rangers are on the brink of sealing yet another eye-catching signing, and this time it's a Finnish flyer who's got the numbers to back the hype. Oliver Antman, fresh off a sensational season in the Netherlands with Go Ahead Eagles, is all but confirmed to be heading to Ibrox, and you better believe it's got folk buzzing. Now, here's where it gets tasty. Reports from the Dutch press say Rangers have agreed to pay somewhere in the region of £5 to £6 million for the 23-year-old winger, and personal terms are now sorted. A 4-year deal with an option for a 5th, proper commitment from both sides. Go Ahead Eagles' technical director even came out and admitted they're already on the hunt for a replacement. That's as clear as it gets. Antman racked up 6 goals and 16 assists across all competitions last season. That's 22 direct goal contributions. Not bad for someone who only joined the Dutch side a year ago. And get this, in terms of assists, only Mohamed Salah finished ahead of him in Europe's top 5 leagues. That's not just good, that's elite. It's the kind of form that turns heads and breaks defenses. You've got to give credit where it's due. Russell Martin is building something here. That's now 9 signings through the door this summer, and Rangers aren't showing any signs of slowing down. The squad's been crying out for real depth, especially out wide, and with the likes of Findlay Curtis stepping up and JD Gassama already making waves, Antman's arrival turns that flank into a serious weapon. He's quick, he's technical, and he's fearless on the ball. If you're a defender in the Premiership, you'd better start losing sleep now, because with Antman whipping balls into the box for Dezers and Igamani, Ibrox could be in for some proper fireworks this season. If Antman really is that good, outshining the likes of Lamine Yamal and Florian Wirtz last season, then why weren't the so-called big European clubs sniffing around him? Has Rangers pulled off a masterstroke, or is there something they saw that others didn't? Right, here's one to get your blood pumping. Jamie Vardy. Yes, yeah, do that. Jamie Vardy is being linked with a potential move to Ibrox, and if it comes off, it could be the kind of signing that completely electrifies the dressing room, the pitch, and the entire Premiership. At 38 years old, Vardy might be in the twilight of his career, but don't let that number fool you. He's still got pace to burn, a killer instinct in front of goal, and a mindset forged in the fires of top-level English football. 200 goals for Leicester City, a Premier League title, an FA Cup. The man's a winner through and through, and he's still a free agent. Rangers legend David Robertson reckons Vardy could terrorize defenses in Scotland for another 2, maybe even 3 seasons, and frankly, it's hard to argue. If Rangers can bring him north, he wouldn't just score goals. He'd change the way the team plays, get the ball in behind, let Vardy play on the shoulder, and watch the chaos unfold. He's got that snarl, that grit, that constant hunger to drag a team over the line. And when you look at the likes of Cyril Desires and Hamza Igamani, lads with talent but still inconsistent, having a figure like Vardy leading the line could take the whole attacking unit to a new level. Robertson's bang on when he says it could be transformational, but of course, Celtic had to poke their nose in. Peter Grant was singing Vardy's praises not long ago, hinting that Brendan Rodgers might fancy reuniting with his old talisman from Leicester. A wee war brewing there, perhaps? Now, imagine this A packed Ibrox under the lights, Jamie Vardy in blue, giving it the big one after smashing home a late winner against Celtic. It would be box office stuff, and it's not about sentiment, it's about experience, leadership, and still having the tools to do damage. Would you rather see Rangers take a gamble on a proven Premier League legend like Jamie Vardy, or stick with Dezers and Englishman, hoping they eventually find consistency? Right, buckle in. It's Champions League night at Ibrox, and the pressure is mounting already. After a frustrating league opener at Fir Park, Rangers return home with everything to prove as Victoria Plzen arrive in Govan for the next step on the road to Europe's elite. The 3-1 aggregate win over Panathinaikos was solid, but this is where the margin for error tightens, and Russell Martin knows it. That's why we're expecting changes and not just tweaks. Kieran Dowell looks set to be axed from the starting 11, and it's about time. He's been shoehorned into wide positions under Martin, and let's be honest, it's been a failed experiment. Playing him on the right has offered nothing but imbalance and sluggish transitions. It's been like asking a Salith dancer to waltz through a rave. Findlay Curtis could be the man to come in, and that's a change that should excite you. He's direct, energetic, and he's shown flashes of fearlessness that Ibrox demands. On the opposite wing, JD Gassama has already won hearts with his fearless approach, the kind of player who doesn't hide, and that's exactly what this stage requires. Up top, Danilo got the nod against Motherwell but did nothing to suggest he should keep it. Cyril Dezers, for all the transfer noise around him, is likely to return to the starting 11. He's inconsistent, but he brings a presence, and Martin needs someone to batter Plzen's backline into submission. The midfield, though, looks like it'll remain untouched. Raskin and Diamond offer balance, and Joe Rothwell has shown signs that he can be the link-up man that glues it all together. No tinkering there, and rightly so. Defensively, it should be status quo. Giga and Sutar as the centre-back pairing, Aaron's continuing to cover on the left, and the skipper Tavernier on the right after scoring at the weekend. And between the sticks, unless something dramatic happens, it's Jack Butland. Despite the transfer noise, he's earned his gloves. Is Russell Martin really making the right call, sticking with Dezers and giving up on Dowell? Or is he just panicking early after one poor league result and risking instability ahead of the club's most important qualifier of the season? Robin Proper, out the door, back to 20, and apparently none the wiser. You'd think after one of the most underwhelming spells in recent Ibrox memory, a player might leave with a bit of humility, but no, not Proper. Instead, he's told the Dutch press he didn't fail at Rangers and had a lovely year in Glasgow. Aye, a lovely year. While the backline was leaking like a sieve and the stands were half empty by full time because of performances he helped orchestrate. Let's not sugarcoat this. Proper was a disaster, a captain in the Eredivisie, sure, but in Scotland he looked like he'd never dealt with a high ball in his life. Mistakes, positioning all over the shop, weak in the air, one pace. He managed to make a bad defense worse. And while stats never tell the full story, conceding 49 goals in 43 appearances does paint a grim picture. Gary Keown summed it up perfectly. This wasn't just poor form, this was part of the wider collapse under Philippe Clement. The infamous January match against St Johnstone, where Ibrox turned toxic and punters walked out mid-game, wasn't some unlucky blip. It was the culmination of months of half-hearted defending, and Proper was smack in the middle of it. So now the focus rightly shifts to Kevin Thelwell. Getting rid of Proper was a good start, but let's be honest, the clear-out can't stop there. The squad is bloated with players who either aren't good enough or don't fit Russell Martin's vision. Until the deadwood is cleared and a lean, hungry squad is built, Rangers will keep tripping over themselves while Celtic swan off with the silverware. The rebuild needs teeth. No more passengers. No more vanity signings from abroad who can't handle the pace or the pressure of Scottish football. Rangers need players who get it. The demands, the scrutiny, the pride of wearing that badge. Should Rangers now completely stop signing players from lesser leagues like the Eredivisie unless they've already proven they can handle high-pressure football? Or is that just reactionary nonsense after the proper debacle? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.